am Elizabeth Masterman, and I'll be talking about trichotillomania and beauty. In the 8th grade, I started pulling out my hair. Trichotillomania is defined by Webster as an impulse disorder characterized by the compulsive urge to pull out one's hair, leading to noticeable hair loss, balding, distress, and social or functional impairment. But why is social and functional impairment such a concrete result of trichotillomania? To quote Ali Mattu, PhD and trichotillomania researcher, when trichotillomania first develops, often around puberty, oh puberty, what a lovely time. Not only am I sprouting breasts, but now I'm also pulling out my hair. More exciting things to add to the list of growing feminine attributes. When trichotillomania first starts, often around puberty, most individuals don't even realize that they're pulling out their hair. It happens automatically and without any conscious effort. Unlike anxiety disorders, where fear becomes associated with specific situations, researchers believe that it is a complex integration of genetics, hormones, neuroanatomy, emotional regulation, and environment that drives an individual to pull their hair. From this, I hope you can gather that trichotillomania is not a choice. It is innate, like the color of your skin or your sexual orientation. Trichotillomania causes me no physical harm. With trichotillomania, I can still fully function as a healthy human being. I am not bedridden or condemned to a life reliant on medication. And yet, the trichotillomania community suffers greatly. A community that is estimated to be between 2 to 4% of the population, or 2 to 10 million Americans. But we must remember that because this disease is so rooted in embarrassment, that these statistics are not accurate. It is a much greater community. The problem with trichotillomania is not fear or anxiety, but rather the cultural stigma associated with patches of missing hair. And it is not understandable that a teenage girl with patterned baldness resembling that of her father might feel shame and embarrassment. Being locked up in my bathroom for 4 years, not telling a soul, too scared to hold the mirror up and look, too scared even to research what was happening to me, all stemmed from this fear that this compulsion made me ugly. It is funny to remember that for 2 years, I thought I was the only person in the world who did this. I still have not figured out if this was me being self-absorbed or in denial. I was scared people would think I am disgusting, and truthfully, people do find this disgusting, and they are not ashamed to tell me this. There is no sympathy for these compulsions. The only media pullers have ever received was on the show My Strange Addiction. It portrayed us as a people writing satanic imagery on walls, the type of crazy that murmurs to people that aren't there. In short, it misrepresented us as a people with tons of extra psychological baggage. The only time pullers have ever appeared on television was to amuse. And it is amazing how many times since I have quit hiding at school that people have stopped me in the halls to remind me that I am balding. It is in these moments that I wonder if they think they are being helpful. As if, out of some friendly gesture, they are reminding me of something I have forgotten. Thank you very much. We need awareness. It is not polite to stare, and it never has been. In the past, people thought bulimia was a silly joke, and since then we have progressed, and we now understand that it is nothing to laugh at. People tend to stay away from publicly outing a bulimic. But yet, since we wear trichotillomania on our sleeves, strangers feel as if this gives them the right to comment. Like with the tattoo, everyone feels the entitlement to berate you with personal questions. We must all find it within ourselves to remember that if someone doesn't have eyebrows, there's usually good reason. There is no sympathy for our community, and there is very little sympathy for obvious physical shortcomings in general. In a world where most of us are ugly, why do we do this to one another? The nature of beauty is warped, and these images will convey to you what I could never in words. This is what trichotillomania looks like. This is what haunted me for 4 years. This was the first time I had ever taken a photo of what was happening to me. Like I said earlier, I was afraid to look into a mirror because looking makes everything real. And now the last photo. It seems random, out of place, maybe. Why am I smiling, trying to look nice? And who am I trying to look nice for? I think it is more than obvious that I never intended to show these to anyone. But when I looked through all of my photo booth pictures, scattered around me were these sequences, every one the same, me revealing hair damage, and always directly following, a picture of me smiling, attempting to look cute and unbroken. And it is this phenomenon that truly highlights what I wish to speak about today. Ingrained in all of us is the innate need to self-affirm. All over the internet, we can see the phenomenon of selfies. People say this silly slang as if it is some new invention. But this is no new vanity. Before phones, it was film cameras, and before that, the marble slab, the copper monument. We deserve pride. We all experienced vanity. This is what gives us drive, one of our evolutionary traits that has made us a successful species. Yes, vanity is necessary. You must accept this or be perpetually disappointed. How ironic. But today's beauty is not the required vanity of humanity. The nature of beauty today is fear. We are terrified under concealer and eyebrow dust. Yet makeup and dressing nicely is not necessarily a bad thing. It is only a bad thing when you are doing it not to satisfy yourself, but to satisfy others. We must release this fear, the part of our vanity that requires the approval of others. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you that I am beautiful, to show you these pictures, to tell the kids that ask me, what's wrong with your hair, the true answer, finally, the real reason. I am no longer scared of offending people visually. I may have to deal with this compulsion for the rest of my life, so I refuse to live it out in the box I have created for myself. Up until today, there were only 6 people I trusted to talk of Trichotillomania with. And during various periods over the last few years, I wore a hat every day for months. I used to color my scalp with eyeshadow. And yet today, I get the courage to tell you this. It makes me extremely uncomfortable, but I understand that I am not doing this for myself. I want to show you that to let the world in, to show it what you really look like, will change nothing. Be proud of your appearance. It is one of the only things that is completely unique to you. And even balding and afraid, I got a job and joined a band and got married. Just kidding. I have realized that if my dumb trichotillomania bothers you, that it is no fault of mine. I no longer hide myself. I have realized that I am the only person who cares. I will confidently look into the mirror. I am in charge of a compulsion. How ironic. And I have realized who I was trying to look nice for in that last ridiculous photo booth picture. I was trying to look nice for myself, to show myself that I could still be attractive. I'm finally able to believe that. Thank you.